Which shoes would you love most to have in your closet that you don't have already?
That I don't have already. Oh, the Marty McFlys. I would definitely love those. Definitely.
Oh,
I probably wouldn't even wear them. If I did wear them, they're probably special occasion.
Those are those in mass production or they're just specialty made?
they're only specialty made. They have the ones that actually do the actual shoestrings the way that they're supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
They have those now, but those are rare.
Yeah.
But then they also have the technology of the Marty McFlys, the lighten up and the actual the laces. They have that in regular shoes too.
Yeah,
They got them in the Jordan 11, the Concords, and I think they got them in like a couple basketball shoes. Tinker Hat is amazing. Tinker Hat. Too.
I think they got a few of them in like walking shoes or something like that.
Yeah, no walking shoes. Yeah, I forget what the brand is called, but however it goes, they got that technology. For me, the shoes that I don't have that I wish I did have are the Cavalier. I think it has to be the fours. The Cavalier fours.
The black ones.
Black ones, yeah, the black Cavalier fours. The Jordan 4. I think those are an amazing shoe. I think the 4 and the 5, and the 4 to 5 and the 3, probably in that order, are the best Jordans made. Like as far as how they look. I know that people love the 11s, but
I'm 4, 11, and 3.
No. Yeah, and I'm never a fan of the ones. Because even though all of them are pretty flat-footed, the most flat-footed one is the 1.
Yeah, them joints hurt. Oh,
yeah, it just hurt your feet. You know what I'm saying? Even the 3s are pretty flat-footed. You know, they suck. But
the Georgetown 3 is a fire though.
Georgetown 3 is a fire. I always love the fire reds.
I like the True Blues.
True Blues are cool. Jordan from the free throw line. That's always good. But I mean, I don't know. The Cavalier 4, they just look sweet. They just look sweet. You know what I'm saying? Sweet with some nice shrinky denim and whatever you can wear with it. You know, I like my colors. So
I think the Jordan 4s is the best shoe ever created.
Yeah, I agree. 4 or 5, and like I said, 3. And then there's some LeBrons that I would like to have, but you know.
The LeBron 4s. I don't know what it is about the 4s, but the LeBron 4s are my favorite.
Oh wow! You know what?
Of all time?
Of his category. I mean, of his catalog.
I got my son the Brown 4s in the Laker colors.
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah. You got money.
Hey, I got him in the. I got him in the for his birthday. That was what had to be last year. Last year I got him for his birthday. You know what I'm saying? He wearing them like sparingly. I'm like, man, go ahead. You got it. You know, but yeah, they sweet. They sweet. They got the lion on the back and everything. Sweet.
Nice.
Okay. Thank you all for tuning in to another episode of Take a Space Podcast. I am your host, Leah. I am joined today by Baylor of Open Run with BTG and BTG for President. I know I got it right. I was like, as long as I didn't say on the run. I don't know why I would say
like, wow, am I
on the run? Just I don't know.
Why is he on the run?
I don't know. And then we have, of course, Mike Perkins of My Punk Ass Podcast, and Our Opinions Are Like with your brother Vince Perkins. Yes. How have y'all been doing? Like it's we're not even in the middle of the year yet. It just feels like the middle of the year. So much stuff has been going on. How y'all been so far this year?
I've been sweet. Been trying to just take it one day at a time, you know. But I've been sweet.
Still rocking the man bud?
Yeah,
making those choices. Okay.
Making those choices, right?
What about you, Baylor?
Just work and family. Sprinkle in some podcasting here and there.
As always, What'd you say?
Yeah, they be trying.
Fights.
Yeah, they be trying to jump me, man. Soon as I step in the crib, it's click clack. I'm like, man, I can't even rest.
No, Bailey seems like she be on top of you all the time. There he is.
Yeah, Bailey's son. She man, she a transformer. One minute she want to protect me, the next minute she set me up. I'm like, this is crazy.
No, but y'all be looking like y'all have fun. You know, people out here like, oh,
yeah,
they're having a good time.
But you got to see the behind the scenes. You know, because she's not strong enough to pull the trigger back. And so she'll say, "Dad, and she'll throw me the gun, and I click, give it to her. Then she go, pop, Dad, and I'm like, look, we're not gonna win this. We're not gonna win like
We're gonna
this.
get shot.
Yeah. But she's the deadliest shooter we got because she shot my wife in the eye.
What?
And then I shot her in the eye. So I'm like, is it father like daughter or daughter like father? One or the other.
Oh, she out here like Mikey.
Man, shot her in the same eye. I'm like, God. And she just called me today. She said our mask came. I said, good. You need it.
Oh, wow.
Are y'all using the Nerf, like the actual bullets or like the round ball ones?
Both. We got both.
Oh, okay. Y'all just in there with full artillery.
Oh, they don't know that I stay on YouTube looking how to modify my gun. As soon as I figure out how to modify my gun, that's their ass.
Damn. Po kids.
No.
Po kids.
You know what? I ain't mad at it. I am not mad at it.
Hey, when keeping it real go wrong, they better leave me alone.
So, speaking of which, so this episode, I just want to talk about some situations because everybody want to be the realest out here. Everybody want to seem like they on top of their game and they have nothing to hide and all this kind of stuff. We had situations that I'm not going to call out this year where people say that they're being real and they're being honest, but it turns out they are not, in fact, who they say they are. What are some personal, and you can talk about personal experiences with friends or family if you want, or some situations that you've seen where people all, claim to be real or claim to be forward or honest, but it was actually all a facade. Either one of y'all can go first.
Hey man, I don't know if this is the platform, but y'all's boy Derek Jackson just all y'all's boy.
That's your people.
That's not my people.
That's your people.
Clearly, I don't rock with him. I don't rock with him.
That's your people. Y'all cater to the same audience.
No, we don't. Derek Jackson? That's not even close.
Most of your audience is women.
Most of my audience is women, but they not coming. They coming to me for the actual truth. They don't come to him for the truth. They come to him to get pandered to.
That's a good point.
Yeah, that's different.
Because I always thought he was corny. I'm not saying that I knew he was lying because I didn't. Because he actually fooled a lot of people. I just thought the way he was going about his work was corny to me. That's all. I knew about him when he first came out. I just thought he was just corny. That's it. Didn't know anything else about him. I just thought the videos that he was doing was extremely corny. That was it. So all the backlash that he's getting, he deserves it.
I agree.
Yeah. Only thing I thought was I didn't need to find out that he was cheating to know that he wasn't being authentic. That was the only thing for me. Like I didn't need to find out he was cheating. So to me, it was just like, well, he's not authentic. And then I found out he's cheating. I'm just like, oh. But then
that's just like icing on the cake right there.
Yeah, it's just I already knew. But I've never. You know what's so crazy about that too? 6 million women followed him. You know what I mean? 6 million women.
I'm sorry. Wait. What?
6 million cumulative. He has 6 million. Now I'm gonna assume that none of them were dudes. I'm gonna assume none of them were like white women, right? So let's just say black women were following him. I can't find one black woman that will admit to actually following this guy. Not now.
Because they don't want to be wrong.
It's like they ain't copping to none of that. Like, I knew he was full of it. I knew.
Like 3 years ago, three or 4 years ago, whatever. I saw it because they whatever the algorithm was back then, because I would see him on YouTube,
Yeah.
and it was just like a buff dude sitting in his car talking bad about men, and I was like, "Are you mad or?"
I mean, now he apparently he wasn't mad. He was doing it to get what he got. He was getting it.
Yeah, he was out there pandering. And the cool part about it is I would see his videos on the timeline. So it was basically on my feed from time to time. This was my first time hearing about him actually being married.
I didn't know he was married either. I was
Nobody did. Nobody did.
So that's why it was kind of like, whoa. You know what I mean? Because I thought he was out here that's why I thought it was corny. So I'm like, you putting down us to get closer to other women. So I'm like, okay, now I get it. I see the game. Then when I found out he was married, I'm like, ooh.
Interesting. But I can't find one black woman that will cop to following him. So, I mean, it is what it is. But he didn't keep it real. He totally lied.
No, he kept it real about, this is what I say. He kept it real about the type of men to stay away from. He just didn't say that he was that type of man.
Yeah, but
he was speaking from personal experience, because he was that guy that you stay away from.
But Leah, I knew about these guys back in high school. Yet and still, you don't see me sitting in my, well, I am sitting in my car right now, technically. But you don't see me sitting in my car saying, don't date this guy. I used to kick it with this guy. This is a guy. No, I don't do that. I know.
Baylor Jackson. Baylor Jackson.
Yeah, come on, man.
I don't understand.
Baylor Jackson with an X.
No, I have no idea why women are going to men to know how to act as a woman. If you are going to a man, I feel if you're a woman coming to a man, you're coming to understand why a certain situation occurred in this way, to understand how they see it. But for a man to tell me as a woman how to act, no.
That's never the focus of their they're only giving you insight into what men think about, when they're not saying as a woman you should act like this. That's not typically it. They typically do is they're giving you insight into men, into men's thoughts on women, what they want from women and things of that nature. Now, it may come off as that, but I don't think like even with Derek Jackson, he was talking about men. He wasn't even he basically wasn't even giving you advice. He was creating this idea of a man that didn't exist, doesn't exist. He's creating this idea of a guy that didn't exist. He wasn't giving women advice necessarily. He was just creating the idea of a man and letting women kind of fill in the blanks. Because if you say men need to step it up, you go to a hair salon and say, yeah, men need to step it up. I'm sure there'll be a bunch of black women in there that will fill in the blanks. That's what he would do. He would just let women kind of fill in the blanks and kind of play on anger, pain, angst, you know what I'm saying, with regards to past relationships that women may have gone through. He never gave advice. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, at least not that I heard of. I've never seen a clip where he was like, as a woman, if you're thinking about it like this, and you should do this, he would let you fill in the blanks. You know what I'm saying? Of course, he never said stay with a guy who cheated. You know what I mean? But that's just common sense. Like, you know what I mean? Whatever. But
this is the thing, though. He would touch on certain bullet points and traits that a lot of men have those traits inside them, whether they used to doing it now, or and some of them don't even have those traits. So it's like now you're not talking about the guy that's dividing black and men and women, because that's what you're doing. Because none of us are perfect at all, including the women. So what if a woman get up there and start bad mouthing all these women? Now we just dividing ourselves again.
I mean, it's a part of the problem that causes division between the sexes, which I don't understand. There's black women, we have to be independent. We don't need black men, right? Or we have the other side where black men are like, oh, these women don't respect us. They're this, they're that, they're hood, they're this. And they keep widening this division gap between the two sexes, which for real, I don't understand. But when you two probably won't know because you're not the target market, but listening to the Steve Harveys, to the Kevin Samuels, to the Derek Jacksons of the world, who tell women that, yeah, you know, you deserve XYZ, and then saying what the reality of it is. And then you have other men, like there was a speaker at a church who was talking about how women need to look, how women need to dress. That happens more often than the suggestive, well, a man likes to be able to be attracted to you physically. So you have to look a certain way to be attracted to that person physically. So I think that it's not just suggestions. There's not just suggestive advice. There's absolute recommendations of either you do this or you're going to be single. That tells me as a woman what I need to think, feel, or do in order to be in some semblance of a successful relationship. And that's what a lot of these people do, because the market for single women getting advice to get married, because that's where our value is in society, that market, they corner it, and then they pander away, sell all kinds of books, all kinds of seminars, in hopes of making money without people. Like, I rarely hear somebody say something like, oh, you know, I bought Steve Harvey's book and now, you know, I'm in a successful relationship. I listened to Derek Jackson for 2 years, or Kevin Samuels for whatever, and now, like, my relationship couldn't be happier. Because there's no real value in telling a person that you're not good enough for what you want, instead of, hey, why don't you work on you? Let's talk about getting this right first before you start trying to align yourself with another person.
I think that, like, you know, just with the little stuff that I've heard from Kevin Samuels. I mean, Steve Harvey is not really a good example, but the little stuff that I've heard from Kevin Samuels and the little stuff that I heard from Derek Jackson, they're kind of the antithesis of each other, but in the sense of, you know, like anytime I hear Kevin Samuels talk to women, he always is suggesting therapy. For one, like, he suggests therapy, and not as like you need therapy, like, no, just therapy. You know what I mean? Some of this stuff is, you need to work that out within yourself, kind of thing. You know what I mean? Yeah. He always suggests therapy. He always suggests, like, certain things that are really, like, good. Like, you know, like, even just working on yourself. He suggests that kind of stuff. Now, he doesn't say it as nice as I said it, but he says it in such a way that, you know what I mean? But they're kind of the antithesis of each other. They're like Professor X and Magneto. You know what I'm saying? They're not the same guys, but I mean, yeah, he hid in plain sight. That's kind of funny. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, he didn't keep it real. You know what I'm saying? But when keeping it real goes wrong.
What about you, Baylor?
Well, I look at it like this. We sit up here and we allow all these social media influencers try to convince us that their way of seeing others is the right way, when in fact everybody is different. I just did a show, and shout out to Greg and shout out to Shan, because they had a show about should single people give married people advice.
Yeah.
And I said no and yes. No, because for the obvious reasons. Yes, because no for single people, but I also said no to married people as well, because nobody can teach me how to treat my wife in our marriage. Yeah. My wife and myself separately come with a lot of baggage that we might have to take care by ourselves before we can take care of each other. Therefore, no one can come to me and say, this is what you should do in your marriage. If my wife, which she is not, if my wife was allergic to seafood, why would you give me advice on, I think you should take her to a seafood restaurant? It doesn't work like that. My wife is totally different. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I think people need to figure out, I think that's what it is. I think you need to figure it out. You know what I mean? Maybe go to some people that you can trust instead of going to people online that you've never met, that you probably would never meet. You know what I mean? I caution on giving people advice because depending on what it is, the situation might not, or the experience that I've had might not fit their experience, might not help them at all. All I'm doing is just giving you a point of view, but it still might not even help you.
Right.
So I think a lot of people are lazy these days and they don't want to figure out shit for themselves.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
You know what I mean? And so they rely on these people with voices and a platform and a blue check to tell them how to live life. And we've been seeing it for the past decade or so because these people are influenced to change their body, change the way they look, change the way they talk. We see it with podcasters where they change their whole personality. As soon as that mic cut off, they're a whole totally different person. You know what I mean? So I'm not easily influenced like I was when I was younger. Did I wear, a little pink back in the day? Yes, I did because of Dipset. I will admit that. Did I wear my jeans backwards just for a little bit? Shout out to Crisscross. You know what I mean? Did I have my pants leg up? Shout out to LL Cool J.
You're not that old, are you?
I'm 38. I turned 39 this year.
Oh man, I didn't think you was as old as me. You said Crisscross. I'm like, hold up.
Yeah, yeah. But the thing is, it took me to realize, first of all, I didn't lie to myself. Once I got older, I knew who I was, and I knew who I wanted to be. Yet and still, as you get older, you start to change a bit. You start liking other things. Things that you used to like, you don't like anymore. You know what I mean? Things start to fade away. But I'm not about to go online and type up some shit. What should I like today? So I could change my life. Nah, it don't work like that.
That's when people get caught up in these reaction videos. Like, oh, so-and-so happened. Like there were 1,000,001 reaction videos to Derrick Jackson, 1,000,001 reaction videos to any Kardashian situation. Like there's all these reaction videos to what's going on. People are no longer, looking at just the news or their friends or people in their community. They're looking online to see how all these different people view this incident in hopes of being validated in how they feel or being told, like you said, some people are lazy, being told how to feel. Is this bill passing in my community a good thing? I don't know. Let somebody tell me what it is. Are we good with voting restrictions? That sounds reasonable, but let me get some reactions from some other people to see how I feel about that.
We just had a group of people storm the Capitol.
Listen,
influenced.
Yeah. Told, not just influenced, told to do it.
Yeah. And then and then the results, somebody died.
There were a lot of deaths.
Yeah.
There were a lot of injuries, deaths plural, and people are still feeling like they shouldn't be held accountable for their actions because they were told to do so. It's like, no, you still have free will. You still had the choice of doing it or not. But I think some people they don't want the responsibilities of the consequences that happen based on their actions.
Hey, don't get me wrong though, because I understand that we do live in society where a lot of people just want to feel accepted. You know what I mean? They want, and because their background, they might come from a family that, they don't sit in the living room and watch TV together. They don't have family reunions. They don't have anything that brings them together. They don't have any type of fellowship. You know what I mean? So they go online and they try to search for somebody that shares the same, goals or lifestyle. And it's hard to do that. But at the same time, you got to figure out the shit that you like and just stick with it. It was a blessing, stumbling upon y'all in the Zoom. When I came in there, honestly, I came in there in quiet, but I showed my personality by switching my backgrounds. You know what I mean? That's my that's my personality. Like at the end of the day, I'm not in here. I'm in here to have some serious discussions about certain topics. But at the end of the day, bro, like let's just relax. It's a Friday night. Usually it was on a Friday night.
Yeah.
And it's like, let's unwind. Let's have some fun. We ain't got to talk about politics all the time. But when we do, it's dope. At the same time, let's talk about something random. You know what I mean? That's when I bumped into Mike. I was like, Mike be talking. Mike be talking that shit. You know what I'm saying? Leah is going to chop you. She's going to ask you a question. Well, why do you do that?
Right.
Why?
Yeah,
You know what I mean? She
gonna
gonna challenge you.
She gonna she gonna say something, and I'm gonna have to text her and say you're being a jerk.
But at the same time, when you give it time, like you start to understand people, and when you understand people and you accept them for who they are, then you find out, oh shit, they just as cool as I am.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you don't have to put pressure on the situation.
Instead of me trying to act like I'm somebody I'm not, and then trying to mimic Mike or mimic Leah or mimic Drake. And then it's like, but if you meet me in person, you wait. This wasn't you on what's going on? You know what I mean? I can't live with that.
Man, you ain't
no, I mean
things.
you're absolutely the same person. I feel like even though we only hung out for like 30 minutes, I feel like you're absolutely the same person who I've been online. I was like, oh, I was worried. I really was. I was worried for a little bit. I told my sister, I was like, this is not the same man.
And you know what? I can't do that much because it's a pandemic. You know what I'm saying? Or else y'all all would have been in. Well, I had the Prius at the time. Now I got the Camry. But I'm like, yo, we could have went for a tour on the, through the city and stuff like that. But I mean, look, just be yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like because we're in social media, it's like social media is prevalent. It's everywhere. It's sad that, like you said, some people go online because they don't have a village physically, so they go online and try to find one. Mm-hmm. But sometimes what happens is their personality morphs into whatever group will accept them. Yeah. So I don't really, I may not have a strong dislike for D&D, and find a group that likes me and they do D&D. So now I gotta act like I like D&D in order to stay in the group or whatever. And that could happen on one extreme or the other. And unfortunately, then you end up losing a lot of yourself because you're not speaking up for yourself. You're not being honest and true in who you are, what you want to do, which a lot of stuff suffers because of that.
Hey, you've heard this before. I know Mike heard it before, definitely in Detroit. For show in Detroit.
For show in Detroit.
Everybody's a killer until a killer steps in the room.
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
That's true.
I think though too, like with all the groups and everything that exists, I think that that's why therapy and just kind of having having somebody with you that sort of understands who you are, where you can be grounded. Like, fortunately for me, I got my brothers, I got my mom, and they'll always know who I am, and I can always be myself around them. But some people just don't have that on any level, so they go looking for it, and they don't have even the suggestion in their life to therapy, or what I'm saying, look, you're good at this, be a part of this group so that you can kind of express yourself in the thing that you like. You know what I'm saying? Just because life is to be lived, it's not to be lived online. You can't live your life online. You can, we can do the podcast, we can do the, you can look at your favorite YouTube channel or whatever, but life is to be lived. Life is about people and relationships. So a lot of times you get people that, people would write them off as weirdos, you know what I'm saying? But you get people who do just switch their whole life up to be something else that they're not, you know what I mean? And it's just like, no, that's not because it is probably because they aren't living life. They aren't going out and being their true selves. And they don't have the access to, just people to say you're all right. Like I know when I was younger, when I was trying to figure it out, I probably would have figured it out a lot earlier if somebody like me told me that I was okay. Like, hey, you're okay. You're good. Don't worry about it. You know what I'm saying? It's just, sometimes you just need that, and that helps too. Yeah, and everybody needs to go to therapy.
For sure.
I mean, getting that validation. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say real quick. A lot of people deal with insecurities, and so going online or even creating the podcast, you create this persona, this different person, and that's just makeup for that time. You know what I mean? But that washes right off. As a matter of fact, you might even feel a certain way while you're being that character. You know, that's why I tell people, like Mike. Mike has always come off as a genuine cool cat. He can be witty at times. He got jokes, but he's very intelligent. But he's from Detroit. You know what I mean? No,
everybody's no. Go ahead.
but you gotta follow me. You gotta follow me. If you
Okay.
if you just say if Mike never opened up his mouth and he was like, yeah, that's Mike from Detroit. First thing that's gonna pop in my head, like, oh, this nigga might be a killer. You know what I mean? But he never came off like that. He came off as his genuine self. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
he shared his journeys. He shared his knowledge of politics and things like that. And he can goof around. You know what I mean? And a lot of people are afraid to do that. You know what I mean? They're
Yeah.
afraid. They're afraid to say, "Look, I'm from South Central LA, but I don't stay out here. I'll move my family over here." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, stop trying to be the tough guy. Look, I'm 38 years old. I don't care if you're tough or not. That shit don't mean anything to me. I'm about to go home.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And can't wait to go home, by the way.
I can't wait to go home. You know what I mean? So the thing is like, people are not satisfied with their, because maybe they haven't achieved enough for themselves. You know what I mean?
Mm.
But look, bro, you still alive. You still have an opportunity to fix that.
Yeah.
But don't try to act like a tough guy. I'm not a killer. I'm not a gangster. I know some. Well, no, I don't. I take that back.
I was scared, so you just gonna put that out there like that? Just
I don't.
slide that right in.
But
Hey,
I've seen
Feds is
them.
watching.
Yeah, I've seen them. I've seen them. You know, I come across some, and it's like even they would tell you, bro, I don't want to do this. I don't. I don't have to be this way. This is how I was raised.
Mm-hmm.
For you cats that wasn't raised like that, stop it.
Yeah, man.
Now.
That's you know what I find too. Like, not for nothing, you know, the way that I was raised in Detroit was you don't play both sides, right? So you don't, like, that saved my life probably so many times when I didn't know it. You know what I mean? Because everybody knew my brothers and myself as Ruth's kids that go to school and play basketball. And they didn't mess with us like that. You know, I could walk the back streets. I was comfortable. I was always protected. You know what I mean? People looked out for me and my brothers, and they just didn't mess with us like that. I mean, you get your scuffles here and there, and you gotta show and prove. But for the most part, people left us alone because they seen us with a book bag and a basketball. And they just we never gave off that energy. And like the people who always used to get caught up, get shot, whatever, were the dudes that were good dudes, but just was playing both sides. And it's so much to be a good dude and be a square essentially. And it's so much to be gangster and be that side to where you can't play both sides because you'll die. One of those has to die. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you know, you'll mess around and be a casualty in that sense. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I think the thing that always saved me is being my true self in a space where maybe that wasn't the most popular thing. Because, you know, I'm 41. So, you know, the Detroit in the 90s, you know, in the late 80s, early 90s is crazy. You know, and I was always in the thick of it because I'm from Detroit. So it's bad everywhere. It's crack everywhere. It's gangs everywhere. And still I had to exist. I had to survive. So like when you say, you know, you still a guy who's, you know, I'm still a guy who cracks my jokes, comes off as intelligent. Like that's who I was as a kid. And I'm glad I stayed that way because I'd be dead. Somebody would have tried to hurt me. You know what I mean? Somebody would have tried to hurt me. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure that being who I was saved my life because I've had people who said, "Nah, don't mess with them." You know what I mean? I've had that happen. You know what I'm saying? So being your authentic self, man, I mean, if anything, man, it allows you to live life, but it also can save your life. You know?
And what how many examples do we need though? Of And to me, I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm not scared of a gangster. I'm scared of the one who wants to be a gangster. That's the person I'm scared of because they're going to do anything to prove a point.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That's the one I'm scared of. These real gangsters, They was forced into a game that they really want to be out of it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So that's what I'm afraid of. I'm afraid of the cowards.
Yeah, because the cowards move like they had you jumping. Like, man, that dude over there, like the dudes who always come to the court with a gun. Like, I can't stand that guy. That guy needs to not exist.
Why and how did you think this was a good idea?
But it's always that guy. Anytime I see that guy, I go the other way. Like, oh, he always got that pistol in his bag. I'm straight. You know what I'm saying?
But I've heard from hardcore gangsters say, bro, I wanted to be in that video, or I wanted to be in that picture and smile, but I can't. Because it's a sign of weakness. So you lying. You know what I'm saying? So you lying. You're lying.
Well, no, he's surviving.
What that's true, but what I'm saying is where what he really wants to do though. He really wants to be in a place where he could be happy and he could smile all the time, but he can't. So for those cowards, why would you want to be in his position? Why would you want to act like a tough guy? All these cats, y'all listen to their music, and a lot of these young cats that was up and coming have passed away by the gun. They setting out the examples right here. Of trying to be too tough. All these young cats that have potential, they gone.
It looks cool. I want to do what they're doing. Their lifestyle looks like this. They look like they have money. They don't know those cars are rented or that mansion is just being borrowed.
They don't even know that majority of the money that they make comes off of touring. They think once you get a record deal, then that's it.
Absolutely.
They're not getting money off music like that. I think that too, though. I think the idea, and I think that people are. I think the Jay-Z idea is a very real idea. Like, I think the idea of going through it, like Jay-Z went through, coming out of it on the other side, and then being, essentially an upstanding dude. I mean, he's a billionaire at this point. You know what I'm saying? He has Beyonce, whatever. I think that idea is so embedded in, like, the music. You know what I'm saying? Because we're talking about music now. I think it's so embedded in the music that it makes it to where people want to do all of that and come out unscathed, like Jay or any other guys, 50, whatever. They want to come out unscathed, but there's just no way of coming out unscathed because the rules aren't the same. The rules they're just not the same. You know what I'm saying? It's not a code of ethics that is conducive to you coming out on the other side. You gotta get out quick. You know what I'm saying? You got to get out quick because it's just no code of ethics. And you got to know that. You know what I mean? You got to know that. But everybody wants to do, I think that the idea of 50 or T.I., all that, you know what I'm saying, with the music, the idea is just so sweet to people. It's like, man, that'd be dope if I just came out on the other side. But how many people make it out of that? You know what I'm saying?
I don't like the idea of having to try to get it out the mud. Like, first of all, you grew up in the suburbs. Man. Why do you need to, your parents or your people worked hard to make sure that you grew up in the suburbs, and all of a sudden now, because you listen to music, you feel like you have to get it out the mud the way that Jay did it, the way that 50 did it, the way that I don't understand it, because then if you get in and you really have to be a part of that lifestyle to get some lyrics that you could possibly buy from someone else. Like Tekashi 6ix9ine is not the rule. He's the exception. You don't have people who are regularly getting in the gutter and now all of a sudden they're rap artists. There's a lot of talented people walking around without a contract.
Yeah, you if you're Tekashi, you die.
You automatically.
I was going to say the same thing.
You don't even make it as far as he did.
No,
you die. He made it in time. I mean, he's still around. You die 10 times out of 10. You die.
And he's not living comfortable either.
No.
I don't know. I don't know.
Did you see there were videos?
Me personally, I feel like mentally he can't be living comfortable.
I don't know. Like I said, that part for me,
there's detachment for a reason. He probably is detached himself from a lot mentally so that he doesn't even have to worry about it. That's why he puts so many people around him.
I can definitely agree with that. But it just seems
you can never have a hangover if you just keep drinking.
Yeah,
that's true.
Man. That is great. I'm gonna use that. I'm gonna use that one. I'm gonna cite my source, but I'm gonna use it. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a very good one. Yeah, maybe he's just still in it, like in his head. He's just probably just still in
Because
it.
Mike, you know that you just said it's not too many of us that has. We started from here and we was consistent with our character. Obviously, like when we get older, the older we get, every 5 to 10 years, we mature a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, like I don't want to play video games anymore. I don't going to play basketball 2 3 times a week. I'm cool on that. I just want to be at home. You know what I mean? So eventually it's gonna kick into him and it's like, well, you might mature at this, when you turn 30, but you still can't go to Chicago.
Still
I don't
can't go to Chicago,
I don't see how you feel comfortable like that.
and he can't go to L.A. He can't go to Houston. He can't go nowhere.
That's what I can't. All right, I'm gonna leave these two. I'm gonna leave these two stories with y'all. I'm keeping it real. I kept it real in my head. The first one was in high school. Got into it with some the neighborhood bloods, and after practice, I was walking home. Me and my boy, we got approached by like I think it was about 3 or 4 of them. One of them pushed me into the wall. That was the invitation to let's do this.
Oh wow.
I know math. 4 versus 2 equals ass whooping.
Yep. That's what it
And
equals.
I got to see them again all week, all school year for the next 4 years.
Yep.
So I decided to say, you know what, you got it. Now in the hood, I got pumped, but I made it back to my mama. The second time was during the college days, and I was in a club. It was one of those things where it was a bump into this, situation. I could have reacted in a different way, having alcohol in my system. The dude that I bumped into and that I apologized to, I didn't find out until later on through a mutual friend that he was a real killer. So I could have made the decision at that point to act like a tough guy and ask him, or tell him, watch where you going or something like that. Boom. I don't make it home to mom after that.
Nah.
Legit killer in the streets that I did not know of.
Yeah. Like I don't have one story like that, man. Like I'm just like I've always been so sure of myself in the sense that I know I don't have to do that in order to, you know what I'm saying, in order to get the respect. You know what I mean? And I've been in a room full of guys who are like that. Like I played basketball in neighborhoods that you probably shouldn't play basketball in, and gave people buckets. But it's like you got to know that you got to be competitive, you know what I mean, but not beat them, so they can say, "Nah, that little dude can hoop." That's how you got, you got to know the rules before you even get to that point. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like knowing how to walk that line and be respectful of the killers, the wolves. Not, you know what I'm saying, wearing certain shoes around them, not dressing certain ways around them. Like, sometimes you got to dumb down the gear. You can't necessarily wear a certain watch or whatever. Not that I had watches, but clothes. Like when I was in high school and I, got a little job, I was polo, Nautica, whatever. But not to wear that over here. You know what I'm saying? And wear that, and it's like you got to know where you at. You got to know where you at. You can't have so much pride that you get yourself hurt.
Yeah.
And that's like I said, I don't have no stories like that. I mean, I have stories of keeping it real in relationships and that going south, but you know what I'm saying. But
yeah, that too.
Yeah, I'm poor at that. So,
hey, but look, I'm not proud of none of this stuff. It's just I'm glad that I turn the other cheek. You know what I mean?
Because and that's a story you could tell. Like that's a story you can ultimately tell your sons. Just at the end of the day, it's just like you want to give them those experiences to let them know, hey, look, let them win that, so you win the rest of your life. Like let them win today, so you can have tomorrow. It's all good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, don't think you ever got to be so tough that you die today. You know what I mean? You know, especially for something that means nothing, a bump. Like, you bumped me. All right, time to go. Time to go. I don't need to be in this place. You know, but you know, who knows, man. But
especially when you got kids, because sometimes I just I'll go downstairs in the living room by myself early, watch me a good movie. You know what I'm saying? Just quiet, crack the blinds open so that sunrise it hit a little bit. And I just reflect on, like, you know what, if I would have made this decision, I wouldn't be here. And then also in the future, if I make a decision like this in the future, I could lose all of this.
Yeah.
And it hit different when you come home and your daughter run up and jump in your arms. That's different.
Yeah, nah. And like I say, even to see, you know what I'm saying, just the little interactions I see with you and your kids, like y'all being there having a ball. I can't imagine doing nothing stupid when I'm little. I got my kids, and obviously I love them, but I'm having a fun time raising my kids. Like, ain't let nobody take me from that. You got to be crazy. You know what I'm saying? You bump me, I'm leaving the building. Yep. I'm out. You can have this whole place. You know what I mean?
I might even blame myself. Like, damn, did you bump me or did I do that?
Well, that was me. That was you got it. I'm out.
Yeah, you got it. That's what it is. You
right.
got it. And I'm gone because you know what? I got to do a show with Leah and Mike.
Yeah.
and y'all laughing, but this is therapeutic. This is relaxing. Before I go back to work, but I need this. You know, sometimes I got to decompress before I go to my next shift, and then when I wake up tomorrow, I'll be like, I needed that. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, it's cool to connect with other people who are similarly minded. It's not that we all have one thought, one motion, one thing, but I think that because we try to be better than what we were and constantly learning self-awareness and being more mature in our thinking so that we don't always have to let pride drive our lives. Because if you were prideful in those situations, it would be, Baylor may not make it. You may not be the same Baylor.
Yeah.
And I think that people need to understand that just because you see all these people on social media, you see these people in life, like, you don't know what's going on behind closed doors.
No.
It's a lot of fake it. People took fake it till you make it to a whole new level.
Yeah, for real. But I would like to explain to the people, like, for the people that do see my videos, or I hear people talk about my videos with my family, if y'all think it's fake, y'all can bring y'all ass over there. We'll light y'all ass up. Light y'all ass up if y'all think it's fake. Right. We waiting for new fresh blood. We wait because we tired of shooting each other.
But real quick, this is the crazy part about it. They'll see your family, Baylor, and be like, oh snap, they're having the best time. And then some person may have resentment toward their partner because they're not like your family. How come we don't have fun like that? How come we don't do that? I want to be able to do blah, 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 like the family that sits together and watch TV at the end of the day, or the family that takes trips on a weekend to go to the beach or whatever. And it's like, you can't base your relationships off of something that you see just because it looks fun from this side of the screen. Like, I don't know what your family went through to be able to get to that point, or if it was a full-on brawl after the cameras turned off, or what happened. Not saying that happened, but people only get to see a minute, 2 minutes of your life and then get mad that their lives don't look like that. Oh, that's family goals. Oh, that's bae goals. Oh, that's children goals. Oh, snap, that's job goals. That's what I want to do. And it's like, okay, you can use it. You can use it as a goal to hit. But to say that you want a life like, oh man, Mike is debt free. That's financial goals. That's what I want to do. That's where I want to be. But nobody knows what either of you what effort you had to put in or what you had to sacrifice to get to the goals that you have now, to get to the life that you're living right now.
And the crazy part about it, if they got kids, they know that it ain't always sweet. You know what I'm saying? I'm not about to sit up here and post a minute video of me telling my son he's not able to go outside for a whole month. Nah.
Yeah.
You just ain't gonna. You just follow my timeline. You not gonna see his ass outside. You know what I mean? when y'all, I'm not about to sit up here and post a video of me telling Bailey you need to stop all that crying. You've been crying all goddamn day. They don't see those videos. They don't know that we call Bailey the Bobby Brown of the group with her
Bobby
crazy
Brown.
ass. You know what I mean?
Bobby
And then
Brown.
me and my wife, a month ago, we had that Malcolm and Marie exchange. People don't know that.
No, but
Did
they
you
look
call
at.
Did
Go
you
ahead.
call her
Sorry.
Bobby? Did you call her Bobby Brown like back in the day or now Bobby Brown?
Both of them. It's her and it's her prerogative.
It's her prerogative.
But you know, when me and my wife was going bar for bar, I'm talking about you would think it was a battle rap. You know what I mean? And when I try to explain to people, I say, look, Malcolm and Marie is not a toxic movie. It's a movie about two people in a relationship and or marriage, and they got it all out. Because I've been with my wife, we'll be married 10 years this year, but we've been together for 12 or 13 years.
Congratulations.
Thank you. But we had heavyweight fights. And we chose at the end of the day, it was one of those things like, nah. Yeah, we probably said out of here. I don't want to be married no more. Whack, you tripping or whatever. No, go sit in that room, calm down, eat some ice cream, whatever you got to do. I'm gonna calm down. I'm gonna apologize. You're gonna apologize. We're gonna cry about it, et cetera, et cetera. And then here we are, taking all our frustration out of Nerf guns.
It came from somewhere. I knew it. It's like black eye. Make me sick.
Oh, her eye. Oh no.
Y'all both shattering her eye.
But at the end of the day, man, it's like you got to build that. You got to build that relationship with those kids. And people want to know where we got it from. That come from pain.
Yeah.
That come from losing my parents. She lost both of her sisters. You know what I mean? She didn't have a perfect childhood. I didn't really have the childhood I wanted. You know what I mean? But now we got kids. And when they get older, I want them to remember that, because that's going to teach them how to, when they go into the streets, they know they got to act correctly. They represent us. You know what I mean? And they know when they come back home, if they out there messing up in them streets, they know they got to come back home, and we gonna get on their ass, because they know
light them up.
We had fun with y'all, but at the same time, we got to discipline y'all. You know what I mean? So I gotta get me another gun though. I ain't gonna lie to you, them niggas.
Another Nerf gun. Another
Nerf gun.
Yes,
colorful Nerf gun.
Fez is watching. Fez is watching.
Make that clear.
And even now, they stuffing drugs inside these Nerf guns. We ain't got nothing to do with that, Fez. I'm telling you
right now. First of all, why are you volunteering all of this information?
But it ain't got nothing to do with me. I'm just clearing my name.
You didn't even have to bring that up.
This is the one.
It's public knowledge.
You 1-800 get indicted hotline, dog.
hey, you know what? I'm glad you said that. Let me tell you something. And if you do a crime and I'm with you and I don't know about it, I'm telling.
You didn't let me in. I didn't get benefit of it.
I'm telling, because you know why? I'm going back home.
Yeah, nah. Can't wait. I don't do anything illegal. You know what? Like, you know, because I was married once upon a time. You know, congratulations to Baylor. I have a story. At least everybody has a story from when I was married, when they thought that I was going to do something that wasn't married. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't. And they're like, man, dog, you the greatest of all time. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I thought you was gonna do something. I was like, nah. And I walk away. Everybody got a story of me just walking away from trouble, man. Because it's like you just want to go home to wife and kids. Like, and I know I can't be this guy and go home to wife and kids. I'm gonna feel horrible. You know what I'm saying? So it's just on all levels. It's just like you be wanting to get home to wife and kids. You know what I'm saying? And that's just the nobody's gonna mess that up. You know what I'm saying? Not no dude, not no girl, not no situation, no nothing. I got to get back home to my kids and my wife. You know what I'm saying? So that I can play around with the kids and rough houses. I got boys, and, you know what I'm saying? So I can, be mad at her or whatever. Or not be mad or shoot her in the eye. Shoot her in the eye.
Let me tell you something. People, I shot
with
her
a
in the
Nerf
eye.
gun.
It was by
Okay.
With a
accident.
Nerf gun.
It was by accident. Now my daughter.
I'm gonna hit your wife up and be like, baby girl, how's your eye? Because
Yo,
I heard.
Hey, when I shot her, and I see when my daughter shot her, I think it just grazed her. But she didn't tell you that she shot me in my lip.
Why y'all taking face shots?
Mike, when I tell you that mug says you, and I got my bottom lip is hefty, and I'm like, oh my god, and I said pause, please. Oh wait, I got her back though.
Yeah, in her eye.
Brought her down to her knees. She was like, no mas. I said, yeah. Now I went to go grab her. I was like,
did you record that one? You record?
No, I didn't record that kill shot. I didn't record that one.
No, you might not want to because the fans is watching.
The fans is watching. Fans be watching.
Well, this has been a great conversation as always. Do y'all have anything that y'all would like to plug?
Okay, yeah. So me and my brother, Vince Perkins, we go live Sundays in the morning, usually on Facebook, and it's Mike Vince Perkins on Facebook, and then I got Mike and Vince Perkins on Instagram, and Mike Perkins on Instagram as well, and Twitter, and I think that's it. But yeah, we go live every now and again, and we have a great time. So is
this every Sunday or every other Sunday?
We didn't. Well, last couple Sundays we didn't do. Well, no, Sunday before last we didn't do because my brother was sick. So,
and that's crazy. Because when I see his brother videos, I'd be like, I don't think his brother walk. I think his brother float. Like he fit. I see him like he cooking up his greens and his vegetables and stuff like that. I'm like, dang, he really fit. But I've never seen him walk. He's just always floating.
Yeah, he's a floater.
He's like a black Bruce Lee.
Like Bruce Lee, right.
Vince Lee.
I gotta start. You know what I gotta start doing? I gotta start because I don't desire the attention he gets. I gotta start desiring that attention because everything he does. I'm doing. Like literally, like he went. I was already doing vegan, but he did vegan, and it's just like, yeah, Vince, and it's like kind of doing it too, but whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't desire that attention for that. I only desire.
But he does it so effortlessly. He just does it like one video. You can see the vegetables in the sink, then it's chopped, then it's blended, then it's like, oh, that's the product. That's dope. And then it just floats away.
Yeah,
he just floats away.
Yeah, it just floats away.
Yeah, nah. But that's all I got. Baylor, it's on you. I'm sorry.
I would say at Baylor are great on all social media platforms, but that's a lie. Twitter so it's now Baylorism at Baylorism. You can follow me on IG at Baylor Great. If you say anything weird under my comments, I will delete you and I will try to find you with a Nerf gun. And that's it, man. Y'all be yourselves and just remember nobody is going to heaven undefeated.
Yeah, it's true.
I'm gonna take that one too.
Okay, you got one of the coldest one on that sweater though.
Oh yes. It's like it's both ours. We just,
What does your hoodie say for the people who are?
I gotta say it the right way. Okay, it's like both. It's both of our hoodies. Women.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know how many women that see this and try to take it? It's ridiculousness.
Yeah.
I don't know, Mr. Reputation. How many women are trying to take your hoodie?
Okay. I didn't say that correctly.
Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to.
Mike, I got an upgraded one that I'm gonna send you or whatever, and I'm gonna make sure if I find if a woman has that on, it's for sure gonna say stolen on there. It's stolen.
Okay, cool. Yeah. I'm with it.
Thank you all for tuning in to another episode of Take a Space Podcast. I've been your host, Leah, joined by Baylor and Mike Perkins. We will be live on Thursday after this airs at 8 p.m. Central Time, Facebook and YouTube. Please be sure to follow us at Take a Space Pod. That's Take a Space POD on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. I haven't gotten shut down by Twitter. Thank God. R.I.P. to Baylor the Great on Twitter. I'm glad that you got Baylorism though.
Well, not all right. I might get it back. I don't think I'm gonna get it back.
I don't know. They start cracking down for no reason. But
yeah.
What are you doing?
A lot of other people are doing the same
Mike,
thing.
I just sent a link to a iTunes link.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's it. I didn't say nothing negative to nobody or anything. Like I
saw that you follow. I saw that you follow me, and I mean you're the only Baylor, so it's just like Baylorism. Okay, cool. Maybe this is a new page that he showed. But
I created Baylorism back in October for the clothing separately, and I just left it there until I get the website up. But then they cracked down on this song that I posted, which was Souls of Mischief 93, and I'm like
Until Infinity.
Yeah, and then they snatched my page. So
well, right now I have a Twitter page that's active that's still the same. So follow me on there and follow Baylor at Baylorism until Baylor the Great comes back, and then you can follow both, and it'll be fine. Mike didn't mention ORL podcast on Twitter.
ORL,
is that still
ORL?
First of all, don't jump in on my outro.
He got real Detroit.
You already forgot about it. I was like, you're not gonna. I don't know why you forget to mention that on Twitter, but you can absolutely reach out to Mike and Vince Perkins at ORL Podcast on Twitter as well. Make sure you tune into their lives because Mike be about their shenanigans.
Woo.
So
I've been having mad women upset with me, but they love me at the same time. So
hey, don't make Mike too mad because he's still from Detroit. I'm just letting y'all know.
Look, you didn't hear about the last girl he had to take that hoodie back from?
What happened?
That is a Detroit response. What happened?
Yeah, what happened to her? She's still around. I don't know. Right. Yeah. Right. All right, but we'll see you next time. Thanks so much, guys. Peace.
Yep.
Peace.